Hi everyone, it's me, Jordan Long here, and today I'm going to talk about this, one thing that I do think needs to be talked about. So, before I get started with that, I'm going to talk about, you know, so some folks out there, they might think to themselves, oh, I get asked this a lot. And I know that there's going to be someone out there saying that, oh, well, alright. So, what do I think? Okay, so, alright. So, you know that starting on January the 1st, for any Webstead owners out there, that the Dolby Flash Player, which has been owned and run by Dolby since 1909 between 96 YL, will be done. That it will be taken off of all web seekers. That Microsoft and Apple and Google, Mozilla, and everyone else will phase it off. And that the new player, that I believe is the Bitcoin MTM5 player, has already taken its stead on many websteads that are still running. The old websteads that are broken and no longer around anymore, well, those are going to be the only ones that nothing will play on. So, anyway, so anyway, everyone always asks me, you know, oh Jordan, did you ever? You're a show player, Jordan, and you show playing films and farseer shows, and you did in some business wises too, but you don't do plays. No, I don't do plays. And I know plays are the oldest kind of show playing there is. Plays were around long before films and farseer shows. I understand that. But I don't do them. You know, I'm not one of those show players that if you go look underneath all the films and farseer shows that I played in, you're not going to see any plays. I don't do that. You know, everyone likes to onlook plays and say, oh, they take it in one sitting. Oh, they don't have to do it over and over again to get it right. Well, you know what? I don't think anyone's flawless. When you're show playing in a play, something can go wrong. So there is no way to get it flawless. Hell, even films and farseer shows, things go wrong on them too. I don't do it. I'm not into plays. So, so I don't do that stuff. But, yeah, you know what, Jordan? You know what, Jordan? You, you know what? You just waste, you just work time. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have any thought written down or booked. You just throw shit together, and then you wonder why no one likes your stuff. Well, Sammy, I might not have a lot of followers like some folks on YouTube do for doing this. I might not get a lot of looking and watching on my films, which is true, but I do put some thought into things. Like I took you out and I put you in my film. I could have just said F it and not do it. I could call it Dealing with a Creep too, which we all know, Sammy, you are a creep and a heel. So that's what I'm going to call this film, Dealing with a Creep too. And creeps come in all kinds, from all walks of life, you know. Now, you might say to yourself, Jordan, How are you going to deal with Sami Zayn, which his selfhood is a irksome creep who believes that he is more good than others, always gets himself in some kind of a bind and hang up, which he somehow gets out of, and looks like a young Fidel Castro with the suit, with the coat and the headwear. Now, you might think to yourself, yeah, didn't Sami Zayn once be the overseer for Antonio Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura in their early days? Yeah, when they first got put together, they were called the Craftsman Guild. Yeah, that was true. Not anymore, though. They're on their own now, which doesn't really mean much. Oh, I heard all the shit you said about me, about I look like Fidel Castro and I got my coat and headwear on. That's shameful. And you need to say you're sad for it. 2, I'm not irksome. Anyone who's from Canada or settled land is not irksome. I could say that same thing about anyone from the United States or Andy Reichs. First off, I did not say that anyone from settled land or the Undead Reichs was irksome. I said you yourself was irksome. You yourself was a creep and a heel. I didn't say anything about anyone else from the settled land or the Undead Reichs. You know. And so how did you get from the settled land back to the Undead Reich, since the boundary between both unlooked lands had been shut since the whole illness happened? I don't know. I'm lucky. You know. My steadholder talked with your steadholder. Yeah, I don't really know if that actually happened or not. But whatever, you came back from the settled land to the Undead Reichs, saying you were the Interland winner when you did not hold up. You only had your winnings for some time. Had 2 fights with it. One when you won it, one from Daniel Bryan, and that was it. Then you were in settled land for a while because the boundaries were shut down, and you're pulling the whole Shawn Michaels shit. Yep, Sami Zayn is doing what Shawn Michaels did to Razor Ramon way back at the end of 1909 between 93 YL and 1909 between 94 YL, when Shawn Michaels had to give up the Interland winnings. Razor Ramon won it. Then Shawn Michaels wanted to bullshit everyone by saying, oh, he still was the winner and he never lost his winnings. They had the riser fight at WrestleMania 10, which is still talked about to this day as being one of the greatest riser fights in WWE yesteryear. But here are ways of dealing with a creep, or dealing with a heel, or dealing with a cunt, which Sami Zayn behaves like. Sami, go somewhere else. I don't want to deal with a irksome creep, heel, cunt like you. I already have enough heels, creeps, and cunts to deal with every day. I don't need to deal with you. Yeah, well, you know what, Jordan? You'll never be as big or as name known as Nagli Tang and the followership oversight. You won't be as big as any of those other fairways that you have on the side of your YouTube fairway. They're always going to be more name known, always going to have more followers, have more watchers and lookers of their films, and have more words on their films. Yeah, well, fuck you too, Sami Zayn. Alright, as you can tell, I dealt with some irksome creep heel cunt by the name of Sami Zayn. Alright, I'm Jordan Long, and I hope you like this film.